Hi, I'm Eric with Mathews, and in this video we're going to discuss how to install a cal controller with communications on a 2011 to 2016 Pinnacle light dryer. So we're going to assume that a cal controller has failed and you've ordered a replacement. Cal controller will look like the one right here. Your replacement should have come with the cal controller and housing, and it should have come with instructions like the ones we see here. So in order to replace the cal controller that was in there, you'll need to first remove this metal bracket with the 4 screws that are on the back. The whole unit will come out, at which point you'll remove any wires on the back of this cal controller, insert the new cal controller into the bracket, and reattach any wires following the schematic that came with the machine. The wiring will be slightly different depending on what dryer you have. Once the cal controller is in there, we'll need to make sure that it's set up to the proper address. We'll have to make sure that you've set it to the right plenum for what it's controlling. If you knew the plenum when you ordered the cal controller, we will have programmed it to the proper plenum. But sometimes you'll have an extra on the truck, and once you get it on site, you'll need to change the address to the proper plenum. So let's walk through that right now. In order to change settings on the cal controller, we'll use these 3 buttons on the bottom. In order to get into the settings, hold down the 2 arrow buttons until you see tune off here. You're now in the settings. We'll hit the down arrow to see what level 1. Now hold the star and hit the down arrow to change this to level C. Once we're on level C, we'll want to hit the up arrow so that we see address. At this point, we'll change this number by holding down the star button and hitting the up and down arrows to select the plenum that this cal controller is going to control. This one on this demo unit will be controlling plenum number 1. So once I'm happy with that selection, I'll push both arrows until I return to the screen here. So that's the process we'll use to set the correct plenum on the cal controller. Now that it's wired and set to the correct plenum, the next step is to go to the HMI on your Pinnacle light dryer. We'll navigate to the settings, and we'll look at the temp controllers window. In this case, we only have 1 temperature controller enabled, but if your dryer has more plenums, you'll have additional temperature controllers. We'll click on Controller Setup. And from the drop-down, in this case, we have a tower dryer. You can either select tower or profile for domestic machines. We also have metric versions. We'll select a tower dryer and load the controller. This will push the rest of the parameters required for that cal controller into the unit. It's important that when you purchase the unit, you made sure to tell us that it's a newer machine and you need a cal controller with communications. This was not available on older machines prior to 2010. At this point, you've installed the cal controller successfully, you've programmed it, and it should be working. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.